happy holidays. This is an unboxing video for the DC deck building game, Confrontations. I'm pretty excited about this one. It's got a versus component or element to it, which I think should have been done from the very start with the DC deck builder. I like the game. I like it a lot. Just the idea of gathering points and defeating villains and then incorporating them into your deck just didn't mesh too well with me. I mean, it worked. You were able to create some pretty vicious combos and things like that. And maybe if you could have, while defeating the villains, rather than putting them in your deck, you just use that to gain experience, then every other card gives you points. Maybe, I don't know. But obviously I'm not a game designer. So let's open this up. Again, I have to do this video in another area because we've still got people staying here. I hope you had a great holiday. All of these games I purchased mostly through Cool Stuff, I believe. Or not Cool Stuff, the other one. Miniature Market? I don't know, doesn't matter. All Cyber Monday purchases. That glare's not going to be any good for anyone. Okay, maybe this will help. But then I'm not going to be able to see anything. So here's the rule book, pretty standard. I'll give it a quick read through when I can. This is, oh, okay, great. This is the liner card to go into the big box. Excellent. That's going to save me some room because I picked up quite a lot of games with very little room, if any, in it. This is a nice solid card too, hard plastic, and it will be used to tell you where to file these. Alright. You know what? I want to look at the heroes first. There we go. Let's see. No, I think they're doing the 3-in-3 element that they introduced with the Batman Rivals. Where there was like 3 Joker and 3 Batman, and you just like defeat them one at a time. I kind of played with the idea of having a team of just, you know, heroes or villains, and as you play, the number to buy them went up between each dude. Right, so we got Superman. This isn't gonna work. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Let's see. And the cord on that is so very short. So we're not able to put it on the other side. I could always move my chair, I suppose. See, that's rather nice. Not now. So this one, it says, at the start of your turn, you may add the top card of the main deck to the lineup. At the start of each of your turns, If you have fewer than 5 cards in your hand, draw a card. Each time you or your teammate declares a confrontation, draw up the 2 cards and then discard that many cards. God damn it. Wonder Woman? No! The first time you buy or gain a defense or block card during each of your turns, you may destroy a card in your teammate's discard pile. +1 power for each defense and block card you played during your turn. Once during a confrontation, you may discard a defense card. If you do, add 2 to a character's cost this turn. Each time you play a defense or block card this turn, draw a card. Nice, I like the Zatanna character. You may put each hero you buy or gain on top of any player's deck. Interesting. How would that be a help? You may put each hero you buy or gain on top of any player's deck. Odd. Once during each of your turns, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, discard any number of them, and put the rest back on top in any order. You may look at the top card of your deck at any time. Each time you or your teammate plays a hero during a confrontation, you may discard the top card of your deck. That's convenient. That's really convenient. Aquaman. The first time you buy a card from the lineup during each of your turns, gain a card of that card type and lower cost from the lineup. Once during each of your turns, +1 power for every 7 cards in your discard pile. Not bad. Confrontation. Once during your turn, +2 power for every 7 cards in your discard pile. Okay, these are the villains. Yeah, lots of villains. Well, no, not really. There's 3 of each, is what it is. Right, so we have Ocean Master. At the end of your turn, if you bought or gained 2 or more cards this turn, you may destroy a card you played this turn. Once during each of your turns, you may put a card with cost 3 or less from your discard pile into your hand. +1 power for every non-starter card with cost 2, 3, or 4 you play this turn. Cersei. You may put each villain you buy or gain on top of any player's deck. Confrontation. When you play your first card during each of your turns, you may cancel this confrontation and buy cards as usual. Once during each player's turn, a confrontation card in your hand has assist. Lex Luthor. Discard a non-starter assist card, draw 2 cards, use only once per turn. +1 power for each non-starter assist you play this turn. Draw a card for each non-starter assist card you play this turn. Felix Faust. Nice. Once during each of your turns, you may gain a weakness from the weakness stack. If you do, +2 power. You may gain a weakness from the weakness stack. I'm sure that's advantageous somehow. Hard to think of what, though. At the start of each of your turns, you may choose left or right. If you do, each player passes a card in their hand to the player in that direction. Weakness cards, okay, maybe this is it. Weakness cards you play have +1 power. Nice. Confrontation. During your turn, draw a card for each player with 1 or more weakness cards in their discard pile. Not bad. Alright, so those are the heroes. Now let's see what it says here. Overview. In DC deck building game Confrontations, you and a partner take on an opposing team to determine the fate of the world. While you begin armed with only the ability to punch your foe, as the game progresses, you will add new, more powerful cards to your deck, with the goal of defeating your biggest rivals. If you can knock out the opponent 3 times, your team instantly wins the game. Okay, that's all standard. Let's see. Your character and starting deck. The main deck. Gameplay. Here we go. This is where I should have started. I apologize. Have a seat next to your partner. That way you can compare hands and talk secretly about your plans. Each player begins by shuffling. You can buy any number of available cards, vulnerability and weakness cards. the order of playing your cards. Alright. Assist. Here we go. Assist is a new keyword found in many of the cards in this set. The keyword assist means you may play this card during your teammate's turn. If you do, that player gains all benefits from the game text in this card. Huh, so that's interesting. If you play an assist card with +2 power, your teammate gets that power. If you play an assist card that says draw a card, they draw a card, not you. If a card references your discard pile, such as counting the number of superpowers found there, it is referring to the active player's discard pile, not the assisting player's. Since the active player did not actually play the card, they do not get any bonuses for playing a card of that type, color, name, or set, or cost this turn. Alright. If your oversized character gives a bonus for playing that card, that effect does not transfer to your teammate. Attacks and defenses. Confronting your opponent. So there's a team element in this, I guess, if you have more than 2 people, which I almost never do. Blocks, weaknesses, gaining cards, resolving card effects. 2 and 3 player variants. Do not feature any partnerships. Okay, 2 and 3 player games do not feature any partnerships. It's everyone for themselves, and each player is a foe. Each player plays as one character, grab all 3 versions. Any text referring to teammates that does not resolve that part of the effect, but other parts of that card will resolve as usual. The first 15 cost character to go down ends the game in a 2 or 3 player. In a 2 player, but not in a 3 player. Instead, you play the last man standing. Since you don't have a partner, assist cards will work a little differently. Once during your turn, you may remove 1 assist card from your hand, placing it face up onto your character card. The card must come from your hand. These cards are not being played, discarded, etc., and you do not currently control them, although you still own them. Nothing in the game affects them, and they can never interact with other cards while here. During your turn, if you have an assist card on your character card from the previous turn, you must play it. What? During your turn, if you have an assist card. If they are played directly from your character card, they do not enter your hand. Enhanced Strength will grant you just +1 power. You may play it at any point before or after playing other cards. You must declare a confrontation prior to playing this card, as usual. You must play it before ending your turn. You may not add new assist cards to your character until you have cleared the card from the previous turn, if any. If the game ends due to the lineup being unable to refill, assist cards are returned to the decks before counting VPs. 2-player game note, remove Magog and Swamp Thing from the game when they enter the lineup and replace them. What? Mixing confrontation with rivals. On each of the main deck cards in this set, you will find a symbol that corresponds with one of the playable characters. Interesting. See page 1. If you wish to bring in some cards from DC deck building game Rivals, Batman vs. Joker, simply remove all the cards from one or more characters that will not be played this game. So if Wonder Woman and Batman from Rivals are teamed up, you could take out all of the Aquaman and Zatanna cards and replace them with an equal number of cards from Rivals that make sense for Batman. Typically, you should replace removed cards with cards from the same type, hopefully near the same costs. It's fine if they don't match up precisely. It's recommended that you always leave in the Superman and Lex Luthor cards, as those are a majority of ally cards in the set. Interesting. Well, at some point I am going to build the Gotham City main deck, gathering cards from different sets, and using Batman characters. Let's see here. There should be a little zip line. So there we go. Personally, I would like to see a DC Dark expansion and or just other big set like this for characters like Deadman, Swamp Thing, Constantine, Zatanna. I mean, I realize they're already in the game proper, but I'd like to see one dedicated to them. So these will be the hero cards. We have Deadman, Jimmy Olsen, Tula, Tempest. Steve Trevor. Yawara. Crypto. Ragman. The others. Steel. Lois Lane. Blue Devil. Madame Xanadu. John Constantine, favorite of mine. Mira. Toy Master. Superboy. Animal Man. Hephaestus. Supergirl. Donna Troy. Hermes. Hera. Poseidon. Dr. Fate, another favorite. Orion. Ares, and Swamp Thing. Okay, so we've got a big chunk of the DC Dark heroes in this. That's nice. Next here we have the villains. The Trench, King Shark, the Creeper, Giganta, Siren, Black Bear Thorn, Black Manta, Dr. Destiny, Silver Banshee, Parasite, Nereus, Chimera, Cheetah, Mazo, Metallo, Artemis, Atlan, I always want to say Atlan, Faora, Clarion, Etrigan, nice, Zod, Enchantress, Bizarro, Strife, Doomsday, blank card. I wonder what that's for. Eclipso, Firstborn, Magog, and Apollo. Let's see. Alright, these are the main deck cards. This is pretty massive, and the lighting in here is atrocious. I apologize. Normally I would be able to do this no problem, but we still have stray guests from Holiday Chaos. Not my personal guests, but guests of other people. And the reason why is pretty self-explanatory, but I won't go into it. Weakness cards, alright. Okay, so rather than doing another disappointing unboxing video, because my room right now that I have to be in is so atrocious, and lighting and things like that, I think I'm going to incorporate this into the big box, and then maybe do a unboxing video tomorrow. I apologize, and I hope you all have a grand new year.